Good evening and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. Would you please join us in singing a song? And I would invite you to stand. I think this is a song that you should stand for. It's called We Let the Love Wash Over Us. And Jerry will do the hand signals for you. Ready? Seated.
And what a way to be. Living the life of love that is this magnificent community. I invite everyone to close your eyes if you choose. Sit in the presence of that love that has washed over each of us and joined us together in community to celebrate the greater glory of God, the beloved that comes here this evening to wash over us and reveal the beauty of each individual soul, the grace and the power of its generosity. And I'm so grateful to open up into this joy and this peace and this love that are the presence of this community. Beloved, show us your love this evening. kiss the soul of this community and bring forth its greatest gifts in sharing during this 40-day period and beyond. I'm so grateful, and so it is.
You can stand up if you want. I see y'all bopping to it. I see it in you. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Give your love away. The more you give, the more you live. The more you give, the more you live. The more you give, the more you live. Give your love away. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Give your love away. The more you give, the more you live. The more you give, the more you live. The more you give, the more you live. Give your love away. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Give your love away. The more you give, the more you live. The more you live, the more you live. The more you give, the more you live. Give your love away. Give your love away. Give your love away.
More about that later. I'm Kathy Ann Lewis. You are here as part of a kickoff for a 40-day program for transformation. And I'm sitting here because a lot of what will happen out here as well. Because I just don't believe in spectator religion anymore, or spectator spirituality. It really works on for football, because who wants to be out there with those guys? I mean, really. Can I just say something? The older I get, the more I know, the more I get a little bit critical of movies. So I watched Gladiator last night after I got home from a late night, and it was so funny. Well, there's this one channel. I'll get to the talk. There's this one channel that's doing sort of the top. Well, for every year, the movie that got the Oscar, and Ben-Hur. I'm sorry, it wasn't Gladiator. It was Ben-Hur got an Oscar for Best Picture. So Tim was watching it, and I watched it. And so there's this big chariot race going on, chariot race. And people were falling like crazy, and there were these guys that were running out with the stretchers. And I know the Romans didn't do that. They just were waiting for them to just be run over and gored and stuff. So it's like, so I don't know why I said that. Except I did look up where the word Lent came from. I want to know the history of Lent. Even on Wikipedia, they tell me what it means and when it was practiced, but not why it was practiced. So I'm going to make up why it's practiced. And I might just submit it to Wikipedia. So, but Lenten means 40. That's all it means. Lenten, big deal. Lent, Lenten. It's a Lenten ceremony. Tonight is Ash Wednesday. Did you know that? So if you're still on Mardi Gras, stop it. You're supposed to give that up. Mardi Gras, big party, and then I need a rest. And so crazy people. But anyway, so Lenten means 40. That's all it means. And it's an old tradition. In ancient times, every number meant something, or a lot of the numbers meant something. And 4, whether it was 40 days or 40 years, praise God it's not years anymore, all it meant was a firm foundation. So I don't know that Jesus checked in at a certain time, went out into the desert, and 40 days later checked himself out. I'm also not sure that Buddha, who also spent 40 days under the tree, that it was really 40 days. Like, who's taking care of it? And how many of you have just been in a zone? How many of you have ever been in a zone and time stands still? So Buddha's having this enlightened experience, comes out and says, well, that took 40 days? It wasn't literal. What it means is a long enough time to establish a foundation from which something else can spring. The Israelites spent 40 years because they were a little, more dedicated. 40 years in the desert before they could go into the promised land. What did that mean? It meant that it took 40 years for them to have a shift in consciousness before they could accept what had been given them. So the way that I look at this Lenten time is that we're going to take these 40 days where so many people are participating in a program, and we're going to, if you choose to, participate in a program and kind of ride their wave, but it'll be our own program. We'll do it our own way. It's like we're all going to the ski slope, and we might even be doing the same run, but we'll ski our way. Because supposedly, I was looking at this. This is pure Wikipedia, but it's that there is a tradition that you give up a luxury for penance, a luxury. Well, nothing is more luxurious than a negative thought. How many of you have wallowed in it? Some negative thought. And I read a long time ago that how is it we can't afford the luxury of a negative thought? It's really too costly, isn't it? So for this time, we're going to look at another thing that Jesus said, because he was using the Jewish tradition of 40. And we're going to look at fasting and feasting. We're going to fast from something and feast on something else. But before I talk about, I'll give you just an idea. How many of you have realized that it's easier to entertain thoughts about yourself that are unflattering than it is to entertain thoughts about yourself that are flattering? Have anybody noticed that? So a negative thought might be those unflattering thoughts that you might want to fast from. And then feast on something else. My suggestion would be that if you wanted to, and this is not to sell my book because I'm not going to get anything from this, but it is my book. So this is a take it or leave it. There's an affirmation always in this book, which is 40 Days to Love, and you might just look at the affirmation and feast on that day. That the one that we have today is, my good is love, full, satisfying love, love everlasting. Isn't that beautiful, full and satisfying love? Because we really don't want anything less. And I'm not talking about even with another, although it could be with another. But with just another. It's so limiting. Why not love your family more and your coworkers more, your neighborhood more, everyone more? Thank you. I know what you're doing. Thank you. Wouldn't it be wonderful that we just loved more and that it felt good? So, the love I seek cannot come from person or thing. The love I seek must be found within. That would be an affirmation to feast on. But before we get going, let's turn this over to you. Take a deep breath. This is where it gets to be kind of participatory. A deep breath. And out. And I believe that there is a presence in this room that's eternal and everlasting. And that presence is wisdom itself. And wisdom is the love intelligence of the universe, finding form and finding a connection with human beings. So I give thanks that wisdom is speaking to each and every one of us about what it is that we could fast from for 40 days, so that love would naturally fill us and lift us. So when you know what you could fast from that would allow you to be naturally lifted into love, simply raise your hand. And just listen. What could you fast from? Thank you. Thanks, sweetie. What is it that you could fast from? Great. We see more hands. It's really great if you can be inspired by something. Otherwise, you might want to give up something that really doesn't get in your way. So you want the spirit of wisdom to inform you. So a lot of you raised your hands. I'm going to talk just briefly about what I think love does. I think love lifts us. It heals us. It changes things. I'll give you an illustration. This actually happened to me long before I knew the technology of what was happening. How many of you have ever had accidental miracles? And then you come and you take Beyond Limits and you go, oh, that's how that happened. Oh, I get it now. So this was an accidental miracle. Well, it wasn't accidental. I did the work, but I just didn't know the technology, so I couldn't repeat it until much later, until I found a church like this. So there was a time in my life, in my early 20s, when I worked as a clerk. Now, I just wanted to do stuff. I quit college for a while, and after 2 years, so that I could work, so that I could have the kind of car I want, and I just wanted, I was going for the quick and easy instead of the long-term payoff. I was in my early 20s. I wanted to play. And so I got a job as a clerk working in the office of a company that sold school pictures. And actually all of you who have children and they get their school pictures, well, somebody had to sell that program to the school. And then somebody had to take those pictures and get them out to the kids, and that was our company. It was my first real job. I felt so good, that I wasn't working at the pizza parlor anymore. It was so fabulous. So for me, it was like a big step up, but it was kind of boring. And I was just, because I always prayed, God, I want more. God, I want more. God, I want more. And I kept getting this idea that I was just supposed to to love what I was doing. Because I was reading Jesus' words. I was a good little Christian, except I didn't go to church. But anyway, I was trying to love everybody and do the right thing and be the best person I could be. And I was actually lifted in a way by given this chance. There was nothing to do for a week, and so my boss said, well, you know what our program is. Go out and see if you can sell a bunch of schools. So he gave me a list of people that had already turned him down. I think there were like 10 schools on that list, and I sold our program to 9 of them. I then became a salesperson. I was lifted out of being a clerk. But here's the deal. Scared me to death to go into a principal's office and say, I want to talk to you. I mean, I just barely out of high school myself. I want to talk to you about our program and my company. And ooh, I hated it. Ugh. How many of you like cold calls? How many of you hate cold calls? Even thinking about cold calls. Well, that was me, hating it. But then it occurred to me, because God's right there. And God said, this little thing got in, which is, well, it's better than being in the office. And then I really loved it. I think I sold because I loved it. I think I was lifted from doing what I was doing because I loved it. Love is a healing power, and healing means the revelation of wholeness. So if you're here so that you can find someone, maybe, maybe not. But I do believe that in 40 days, you can have a revelation of wholeness. And that will affect every area of your life. Because what we're really always seeking is something to make us more whole. What if you became whole from the inside out? That's what love will do. That's the power of love. The power of love for you to find a way to enjoy anything that you're doing. The power of love to be content with your life. It doesn't mean that you, and I'm saying this because I went through my head. I was actually praying for contentment, and I noticed this little voice go off. It was down here. It wasn't here. It was like down here. I don't want to be content. Why not? Because then I'd sit around and be a lump. What if you could be content and still not be a lump? Who has, it's like, how many of you have had those discussions with yourself? I was afraid of contentment because I was afraid that it was like downhill to the grave. If I'm not continually working and striving, how will I be alive? What if I was alive and growing and unfolding? I mean, I look at nature, I don't think that the trees have to be discontent to grow. The tulips are coming up. I don't think it's out of discontent. I think it's out of a desire to express who they are. So I get excited about this. So what happens is that we don't have to add anything to grow in love and have love grow in us. All we have to do is fast from what would keep us from growing. Our tulips are coming up early. Oh, I hope there's not a freeze in March. It'll be a surprise for everything that's starting to bloom. Wouldn't that be just a big surprise? But so that I can see them and enjoy them, I spent time Monday pulling weeds that were growing up around them, because I really want to enjoy the tulips. So as love grows in you, if you want to enjoy it, release and remove and fast from the things that would keep you from enjoying love. That's all 40 days is about. And it gives you a firm foundation for love to do something in you. Lift you, just like I was lifted. One of the things that I tell my students, whether they're in inward journey or in practitioner class, but mainly inward journey, is that we don't pray to change things. We pray to know God, and God will lift us into a new reality. And then you know that God did it. It's not fixing, it's transcending. transcending and transcending and transcending. So, this is an opportunity because I want this to be powerful for you. Are there any questions? And we have Sharon and Susan. If your name begins with an S, then you're always asked to be a mic runner. So they are available to answer questions, or if you would like to make a declaration of what you're going to let go of, you can do that. Now, why would you want to make a declaration? I'll tell you why. Because we can all have a thought. How many of you have had really good thoughts sometimes? If you want to make that thought real, you have to speak it. And what makes it more real is that people are listening when you speak it. And then we're going to have a ceremony where if you get your body involved, it becomes even more real. So it becomes like a triple real. So this is an opportunity for you to either ask a question or to say what you're giving up. I'll tell you what I'm giving up. I am giving up accusations. And now accusation is the twin brother to judgment. If I accuse, I get the twin brother. In fact, actually, they're Siamese twins. They come together. If I accuse, I go into judgment, and there's no love where there is judgment. Ugh. So I can either have judgment and be right and be smart and with it, or I can have love. But I can't have both. So for 40 days, I will give up accusations. And the way I'll do it is, when I find myself going there, I will say, I do not accuse the world or myself of this thing. I will not accuse the world of myself of this thing. It's so easy. And what's so great about that, and Jesus said this is the technology that's in this. Anything that bugs me is in me. So in not accusing, I heal me. I heal me. And I become the place where love can show up. Any questions? Oh, please have a question. Comments? Yes. Stand up and...
Thank you. I wonder, do we have to work on one thing, or can we work on several letting go? Because there are a lot of things that, are in the back of my mind that I need to let go.
I love you. You are so type A ambitious. You are an ambitious spiritual woman. I want to change everything in this 40 days. So wait. Ask your deeper self, ask your wisdom self, what are you supposed to give up? And then say it. What does your wisdom self want you to give up?
I think it's think that I don't deserve love.
Great. So you're going to give up. Every time you think that, you're going to say, I'm not going to do that. Great? Okay, good. Now, there's a reason for saying this, because we might want to take on a whole bunch. How many of you have done that before? I'll take on a whole bunch. But every wise person says, take on one thing, heal it, then take on another thing. You can always do another 40 days afterwards. This isn't your only 40-day opportunity in your lifetime, so you better get it right and stuff it full of everything. You can do another 40 days. You can fast anytime. It's just that this will be a more powerful fast, because we are joining all the Catholics in the world. And the Eastern Orthodox. And Lutherans. They don't even know how much they're helping us. So that's why it's powerful. Okay, any other questions or comments? Yes. And so 2 over here. Think about who's gonna be.
Well, okay, I'm Mark, and this came to me today while I was at the gym, and it's a running theme in my life, I think. And I have the sense that other people are constantly making assessment and judgments of me, and at the same time, I guess I'm probably making judgments of them. And I think it would be a good deal and a big deal if I could give up the sense of being judged and judging others.
Great. So you might want to, for 40 days, give up judgment.
Exactly.
Great. 40 days, give up judgment. Great. And thank you for saying so. So I won't judge you for 40 days.
On the 41st day, we're back.
Yeah, tell me when it's over. Okay, 2 people over here. Yes.
I have found that I spend so much time blaming myself that I feel like if I could give up self-blame first, that would help me stop blaming everyone else around me.
Great. So you're going to give up self-blame for 40 days.
Yes.
Anyone else? Doesn't it feel good to say it? This is the most wonderful side of the room. Look at this talky side. Yes.
Hi, I'm Leslie, and I have a statement and kind of a silly thing to say, is that I've heard the other side of love is fear. And I find that I carry a lot of fear with me, but I'm afraid to let it go. Can you speak to that?
I don't think it's true. I don't think the other side of love is fear. I think I think the reason that it is said is that when you know love, you don't know fear. So if you are fearful, then to love, that fear will dissipate the fear. But since love is God, there is no opposite to that.
So it gets in the way.
Yeah. So what we do is when we're afraid, if we do get afraid, we give it a lot of attention. But fear is the result of something. It's a feeling, but it's the result of something. And what I like to do, if it was me, is I want to go inside of the fear and see what I'm telling myself. And then love what I'm telling myself. And then the fear goes away. But fear is just a reaction. And it's not a bad one. If a train is coming at me and I have stuck my foot somehow, I might be afraid. It would say, get your foot out of the railroad tracks very quickly. I mean, fear's not a bad thing, but it's the result. So we shouldn't, it's the result of something, and it's okay to be afraid. But a spiritual master looks inside of it and says, what is causing this? And do I want to change my mind about it? But there's no opposite to love, because there's no opposite to God.
That helps. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please go sit over there. Thank you. Susan feels better now. Yeah.
I'm Deb, and I am the queen of procrastination, which does not serve me well on any level, because when I say the gazillion things I need to do, and I'm going to do them tomorrow or Saturday, then I have negative thoughts about myself. So I would like to fast from procrastination, with my goal being that if I break that cycle, after 21 days, it'll be a habit, and I won't have to deal with that anymore.
Yes, and actually you're going to go for 40, so
Yeah.
whoa. All right, one more over here, right over here, and then we're going to shift gears.
Hi, I'm Lori, and I'm not sure you're the queen. I might be the queen of procrastination. But what I want to give up is complaining. I do a lot of complaining about others and myself, and that always, makes something or somebody wrong, and there's no room for love in there.
Yeah. I want to just say, it is so powerful. Love is so powerful. And we get to choose accusation, or we get to choose love at any moment. And I had that experience this morning when I was having a conversation with my husband, and I didn't think he was listening well. Or I wasn't speaking well, but it didn't seem like what I was saying was getting through. And there was a part of me who is kind of a type A, let's get it done sort of person. I wanted to hold him still and let him know what I was really saying. How many men are going, oh God, no, no. But I realized that even though I was doing it sweetly, there was a bit of an accusation in there. So I stopped myself. He went out to the barn and did some things, and I said, I will not accuse. There's no accusation in me. And then I said, okay, God, be here. It's up to you. You are the foundation. You're the glue. You're the mortar of this relationship. God, show up. So now it's God's job. And Tim came back and said, you know, I'm really been disturbed. I don't think I could listen to you because I was really disturbed by what's going on with our dog. And it's hard for me to do anything except think of her. So I wasn't really listening. I'm going, oh my God, I love God. I love God. Please, God can do anything. And God is love. Now you can call it spirit or whatever, but love is a healing power. The spirit of love is a healing power because we got whole again. And it wasn't by my doing. It's just by the releasing. So I want to make sure that I haven't forgotten anything, and then we're going to move into a ceremony. Yes, so you're going to give up something, and you're going to replace what you've been giving up. By either, I would suggest doing the 40 days and doing the affirmation, and please check in with our registration table if you want to also get the download. You can do it that way also, which means that I give you 15 minutes of my idea about that day's practice. So, and it shows up every day in your computer, and I talk to you. It's a miracle. The technology is a miracle. So however you want to do it, or just say your own affirmation, but fast and feast. So right now, I'm going to invite up my spiritual companions who have a part of a ceremony for you guys. And what everybody has, and I'm going to ask you guys to just spread out a little bit so there's plenty of room for people to show up. Great, thank you. And you can also go over there with Lori. We're going to play some music, and you have an opportunity to have somebody witness you and give you a symbol of what you are going to decide to do today. And this is only if you decide to participate in a new thought Lent by fasting from and accepting love. So if you choose to do that, these people want to bless you. And they're going to tie a piece of yarn around your wrist if you choose, or you can also do it on your ankle if you choose. I don't want to take my boots off, so it would be a risk for me. And I'd like you to wear it for 40 days until Easter. And it will remind you, it'll be a constant reminder of your willingness to let go of something. Plus, they're going to bless you in the process as they're tying it around your wrist or your ankle. They're going to be a witness to your power of decision to let something go and be made new. Now, you can't make yourself new, but you can decide to let something go. You decide to let something go, and love will make you new. That's the promise. I think that's why Jesus put so much emphasis on love, because he knew that with forgiveness, and this is a process of forgiveness, love would do the work. And so for those of you that want to work less Just let go of one thing and let love do the rest. So we're going to hear some music. If you choose, please come up and get us a symbol of your commitment to a shift from our people up here. And they will love you. If you don't want a symbol, you can stay out here.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that that sets me free. There is only love. Sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
And so I give thanks. I love and bless and praise each person in this room. And I bless the commitment to let go of just one thing, small thing, big thing, whatever thing it is. I bless that commitment. And I know that if we take one step forward, Spirit rushes to us. So there are angels singing in heaven right now, going, yay, we've been waiting for this, woohoo! Highway to people. Because we become the place where love can show up and flow out and into the world. I give thanks that we accept greater love, not just for ourselves and for our family and our friends and our surroundings and our conditions. We accept a greater love for the world, and oh, the world wants that. I give thanks that at the end of this 40 days, we will be so full to overflowing that we will spill over everybody. We'll just be messy with love. And people will try to be in a bad mood. People will try to be grouchy, and they can't, because we will be love. We will be love. And everything is transformed in the presence of love, and we will be that. And love will lift us up so that we see things in a totally different way. Nothing will change. We will just have a totally new perspective. Thank you, sweet Spirit, for this evening and the beginning of this journey together. I bless us all. And so it is.
Good evening. Hasn't this been fun? Yay. I'm Reverend Deborah Gay, and I'm here to just say a few things, give you a few announcements, and then we'll do our offering for the service. So as Reverend Kathy Ann explained, you can be part of the 40-day experience in many different ways. And one of the ways is to register for the actual program, and it includes these things. A daily audio, which is sent to you by your email and your computer, and you can listen to it at any time. There's a 40-day book, which is the affirmation for each day, and a journal. And then there's a PDF file, which you can get for a different price. So all these things are available to you, and you can talk to the folks at the registration desk. So that together we'll be on a 40-day journey between now and Easter. And you get Sundays off. That's it. Sunday is your clearing day, right? Okay. And so I also wanted to tell you about next Wednesday's service. We have different speakers. For those of you who aren't regularly coming to a Wednesday night service, come check us out. We have different speakers every Wednesday night. This next week is Reverend Mike Bogar, who's one of our favorite teachers here. And he's going to be speaking on aging and the spiritual process. So I'll just give you a little idea. He's going to be talking about a balance between maintaining a youthful mentality while seeing the genius and the necessity of aging in the spiritual journey. So this is a new topic for Mike. He's going to be teaching a class on this as well. So if that's intriguing to you, come check it out. See if you get some insights from this discussion with Reverend Mike. And you might even want to take his class. So I now invite our ushers to come forward, as well as Karen, who is our Prac 2 student, who's going to be our blesser today. And I'm going to come down and join them. So I ask you to take out and hold in your hand your financial support to the center, and hold your hand to your heart. And let's simply take a deep breath in, joining in community by the very act of consciously breathing together. And so together, as we consciously know the connection of our life with all life, with the breath, with this place of wisdom within each of us that is always available to us to guide us, to answer our questions, to open the doors that we had not seen by ourselves. And so together as a community, we enter into a 40-day journey of transformation, of saying yes to being transformed by love itself, by releasing whatever it is that is holding us back in this moment, letting that go, turning it over to the One, knowing that each of these 40 days is an experience of increasing good, increasing freedom, increasing joy in whatever way is perfect for you. And so we know that our gifts of our financial support, our time, our talent, our joy, our community is what keeps the doors open. It's what creates this community, that strengthens this community. So it is here to support us and to support those who have not yet found us and are still making their way to these doors. And so it is with the greatest joy that I join you in the creation of this good life for you and for others in the Center for Spiritual Living. And with this I say, and so it is.
So I just invite us all to just give thanks for this evening. There will be a prayer circle for those who need extra prayer support over here in that corner. What the world needs now is love, more love. Let's just give thanks for that. Knowing that the music has been fun, exciting, uplifting, and loving, and that Kathy Ann's service to us this evening to help us lift ourselves up to a higher degree of expressing more of God, more of love within ourselves. The contribution to us as a community and from us as we work from within and put that out into the world, that we are a contributing factor to bringing through more and more of God, more and more of the good, more and more love into the world. Let us give thanks for this evening and thanks for the fact that we are on a journey of foundation, that number 4, a foundation of strength and power, the power of love to transform this planet to a higher and greater degree of the one, the transformation, and give thanks for that. We are part of it, and so it is. Namaste.
Well, let's close this evening out with what we started with. Love is the healing power. How about that?